Hello, folks. Once again, what is today? December 8th. Wow, December 8th. We're already in December. We have 1/12 of the year left, basically. So hopefully everybody's doing well. Hey, let me give you a little tip before we start today. There's still 2 full weeks of the year left, plus a couple abbreviated weeks. Keep rocking. Don't stop. Okay, don't coast to the finish line. Sprint to the finish line. Speaking of sprinting through the finish line, we have an incredible interview today with two young guys from AZ. Okay, from hey there. Okay, Jeremy Pierce and Curtis Mitchell. Yes, and you hear the studio audience? The studio audience goes crazy. Okay. All right. So, hey, just jump right into it, Curtis. Why don't we start with you since it's your team? Tell us a little about yourself, and then Jeremy can hop right in as well.
Well, we are the Mitchell Group, part of the Mitchell Group, anyways. I joined my dad in real estate. He got in I think 2003-ish. I got my license in beginning of 2012. So going on 8-9 years for me. We just hired some people this last year. So there's 5 of us now. Jeremy is one of them. And we have done 50-ish deals this year as a team. And we are definitely finishing the most production we've ever done as a group. So great year for us. I love being a part of the team, and we've had a good time while we do it.
And Jeremy has started off kind of because he's only been in the business 14 months, and he's kind of killing it for his first 14 months, right, Jeremy? Tell us a little about what you've been doing, man.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. It's been a really interesting year, I will say that. But none of it deterred me. I was able to really pull it off. Like I was still like I'm almost shocked right now just looking at some of the numbers and going over with Curtis and like just the goals we had set earlier this year and how like close we came and how far we've, surpassed everything. It's been really good so far.
Yeah, that's great. And just for the record, folks, I just want to say that I was just in AZ a couple weeks ago. They both dress like this all the time, not just for this. Well, and Jeremy, Jeremy wears a tie. You don't, but it's okay. It's okay. You just became a dad now. That's pretty exciting, by the way. Baby's beautiful, healthy, wonderful. Yes, exactly. No, he does. Round of applause. First of probably how many are you going to have total? What, 5, 6?
13.
Putting up 4
I like it. Yeah, Marissa's going. Don't even answer that question.
One's good for now. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, Jeremy, just since you've been in the business for 14 months, what did you do before real estate? Just to give an idea.
Right before real estate, I was actually working at Wells Fargo. I was in banking.
Okay.
And I was doing really solid. I did sales. I was in merchant sales there, so I was doing really good there. And I actually had a baby last year. So
Nice.
in between maternity leave, I was like starting like my real estate career. And ironically, I started doing so well that they got wind of it. Like I really didn't pay attention, but they got wind of it and they were like, look, you're doing really good. A lot of like even my supervisor was telling me, look, you're doing really good in real estate. You probably should look at going to full time. And I literally became full time in like March this year and took off.
Did you beat your what you made your first year in real estate? Did it beat what you were making over there?
Yes.
Okay, well then
Yes.
there you go. It's the right choice.
Yeah. It was definitely the right choice.
Yeah. Well, good for you. It's not common for somebody to come out of the gate that hot as because I talk to Curtis all the time, so I know you did. That's incredible. That's a good coming attraction for you because this is an incredible business, and as you can see, you can do really well in this business, and you see a lot of people not do well. So if you're doing well, this is obviously for you. And when I was in college, I know that Curtis came right out of college into the business. I did the same thing, and I just knew right away. So you're on a great group too. So perfect.
Yes, I agree.
All right, good. So tell us, okay, so you closed 50 this year. Just to give them an idea in Arizona, what is that in gross involvement as far as in millions?
We should be right at, I think right now we're 15.5 million in sales. We should finish closer to 18. We still got a few in escrow that should close, hopefully.
So 50 plus closings, 18 million, okay, which is great, I love it. But what's the goal for next year, my man? Tell me what's happening.
We would love to do 75 as a team. I got to get a couple other team members done a little bit more. Shout out Monica and Brittany. Got to get on there. But we have some lofty goals. I'd love to hit 25 million or 75 deals, and we're just going to start rocking it now, really, to get them closed in January to start off the year. And
Yeah.
I would like to hire a couple more people actually too. So that's kind of part of it. That's one of the more personal thing for me, to keep growing the team and getting stronger and impacting more people.
All right, cool. Yeah, Brittany and Monica, I know them both. That's great. They both been through Success Series. As a matter of fact, I was doing a Success Series, I think it was last summer, and Brittany got her first check during the
Yeah,
class, which was nice.
that's a good
I
check.
was like, can I see that check, please? Great. She came out of the gate. All of your team members have. Monica did too, and so did Brittany. So good.
We've got a
Yeah.
solid group, and we really enjoy coming to the office and getting some work done, and also taking time off too. I will say we all try to manage work and home life, and just enjoy life while we're at it.
So what would be a good transaction number for next year? Do you think
75 as a
75?
group
Right.
would
Okay.
be a good number for us. Yeah.
And Jeremy, how many of those are going to be yours?
Out of the 75, I personally like to be a third of whatever the goal is. So if 75 is the goal, I need to do at least 30 of it.
Okay. So 25 to 30 would be great. Yeah. A third. Yeah. Well, I actually, right. 75.
25 will be what I will do. I'm going to say I need to. That's going to be what I'll do.
Yeah. That's 2 a month. You can do that.
Yeah. I mean, this half of the year I've been ridiculous, so I can pull it off.
I know you can. Well, what are you going to close in your first 12, 14 months? How many deals did you do personally?
So as of right now, I'm at just under 6 million. But once I have another maybe 2 million in escrow, so that all closes at the end of the year. We'll be close to about 7-8 million.
Oh yeah, so you can definitely do that. Yeah.
That's my goal. I set a goal this year to do 4.5 million was the goal I set, and then I set a stretch goal of 6 million. So
Good.
I'm like a visual person. So while we have the board here, I have a board at my house, and which I update, I look at every time. Anytime we were close to a goal, I wrote it on the board. I'm very big into like updating the board. You can ask Curtis. Anytime he comes in here, I'm writing, all right, look, this is the number we need to get to right here. And I'll hone in on that number. And half the time I don't know how we're getting there, and then all of a sudden stuff just starts happening.
Yep. Yeah, because you set that little GPS, right? That little GPS in the head. Absolutely. So okay, so let's get in how you do it, and I'll start with you, Curtis. So how are you going to do that many deals? Like, what's your primary source? And then I'll ask Jeremy the same question.
Since we've been in the business quite a while, we've got a pretty solid book of business, I guess you could say. So we're really big into just reaching out to Sphere. I do a lot of handwritten cards, and we're doing Christmas cards right now. I like to send all that kind of stuff out. I'm in a couple networking groups. We're big watch people. So once the group like networking stuff starts going up, we like our watches, and we're in a couple watch groups where we just meet people and talk to people, not about real estate at first. Usually it comes into the conversation. That, and then the biggest thing this next year is going to be old expireds for us.
That sounds familiar.
You guys are right. About to close one. That was an old expired in the next week or so, and it's my time to get in there and jump all in. So
speaking of, I think he actually owes me dinner because we had a bet. So now that I think about it, you know what? I appreciate you bringing that up, Rick, because now I need to cash in on that bet.
Yeah,
Completely forgot.
I would definitely cash in on it. So yeah, so you're. And by the way, just so you know, Jeremy, I've been asking him to consider doing old expireds for since the beginning of time, since we've been working together.
Since I got my license, yeah.
So I've been working with him so long. We started with boxes of old files that his father had at the old office. He went through all those and got organized with the Sphere, and now the old expireds is the next group, and it's a criminal. So your Sphere, old expireds, you guys, especially with the team, just listed, just sold, would also be a tremendous source. Remember, you guys in Arizona, the perfect storm as far as numbers go for the real estate agent.
Yeah, literally the perfect storm. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you have expireds every day. You have for sale by owners. You have a 8% turnover rate in most neighborhoods. It's an incredible place. So, Jeremy, how about you? So, how are you going to do your 25, my man?
So this year, like as I was telling Curtis, we actually talked about this a few days ago. This year, I didn't really have a plan. I kind of like to go out there and figure it out as I go, and then kind of fine tune. So we were literally talking about this about a month ago. I was like, well, we're already at this point to where I need to be focusing on next year. So my goal is I kind of want to be a little bit more. I want to say a little bit more aggressive. So I have this habit right now of, okay, I have nothing in escrow. Let me go find something, and then
Right.
I'll go and network or do whatever I can and come up with a listing, and then I get it, and then I'll work on that, and then some referrals will come. But I won't continue to prospect as much while I have that going on. And I feel like if I can continue to keep that same intensity, like when I don't have something in works, while I do, I feel like I'll be able to double my production.
You know what? And that is the age-old equation right there. Continuing to create this even while you have business going on. And complacency is what gets in the way because you say, oh, well, I have all this going on. So it's the key. The key is to have the same schedule pretty much every day.
Every day. Yep. That was the one thing Curtis told me when I first got into the business was, I watched him come to the office every day at 8 o'clock. He would be in the office and he would actively be here. So the problem is a lot of people don't treat it like a job because there's no real boss per se. So you kind of have that on leisure. But watching Curtis, literally, when I seen how successful he was from when I first started, he would come into the office. He would be in here. He would always be doing activity. He would always be busy. So I was like, well, I have to, take that example. And we're very competitive. So whatever he does, I try to take it and try to beat him at his own game. And
Yeah.
pretty much everything.
Yeah. Didn't you guys play basketball together at one time too?
We did.
That's how we met. Yeah. That's how we met.
I knew him before he had any facial hair.
That's funny. Yeah, then he went to college and he still didn't have any facial hair. Now he does though. Good. Yeah.
Now he's a dad and he has a sprinkle.
I got a little bit.
It sprinkles in.
He's funny. Look at that. See that? All right. I love it. I love the studio noises. It's so awesome. All right. So, all right. Anything else about new business that you guys want to bring up?
I think my biggest thing is like I always tell Kurt, like I'll cold call, I'll do everything, or as we say here, anything.
Yeah.
I will do like literally anything to get to where we need to get to. So if our goal is, if we put in a stone and our goal is $25 million, like I tell Kurt, well, I'm going to hold myself accountable for this amount, and I'll cold call for hours at a time, door knock, however it is that I can get business. And at this point, I've seen success coming from it. So I take the point of, look, you got to tell me no. You say maybe, that's not a no. You say, let me think about it. All right, I'll let you think about it. I'll call you in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I try to do the intimidation factor too. So shaking a few people for listing here and there. Just don't do that everywhere. It works out here though.
Yeah. Right. No, that's great. I love it. No, I love the idea of I will do anything. And you guys definitely are, it's that urgency that you have to have in sales if you want to be successful. I mean, of course, we have the Berkshire Hathaway name. We have tremendous service. We have great company tools. We have all of that going on. But if you don't, it's like Mark and I talk all the time. Here's one of my lines with Mark. You can't teach commitment because I teach people how to sell and what to do, but I can't teach them commitment. They either have it or they don't. And it's really obvious who has it. Would you agree?
Yep.
I definitely agree with that. I remember when I started listening to your podcast, when I first started, I was like, I have no idea what to do. And he was like, Curtis was like, look, Rick, he's great. Like, listen to the podcast. You should definitely just be involved. And he, you'll find different activities to do. So I would go to the gym and I would listen to your podcast. I would go through the podcast. I went through like all of your old YouTube. I kind of social media stalked you for a little bit. Not gonna lie to you.
Good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Videos, and I was like, okay. I literally had my book where I was taking notes. Okay, all right, let's do this. okay, and literally went through it and had some trial and error. I failed at some of it, and then I found out would work. But I definitely thank you because without you
My
knowing,
pleasure.
your voice was very, very heavy in my head while I was trying to strum up business.
Okay, good. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that's one of that's why I love my job. My job is to help people be more successful. It's a great job to have. So I love it when people listen to my stuff, and and I'm even Sydney, my new assistant, is actually organizing my YouTube channel because it's never been done. So that's going to be very helpful for you guys too. But Curtis, how about you, my man? What about other than working with your sphere and so forth? Have you guys? What about the VAC 2.0? Have you had a good chance to look at that?
We have not, and I'm not gonna lie to you,
Oh,
we have not. I think that's some of the back end stuff and online. I think we can get a lot better at, and even social media as well. I took a little hiatus from social media, personal reasons, but I think
yeah,
we're back at it. I think we can really hit it hard, and especially with our age and what we're doing, I
yeah.
think everyone wants to see the life of a realtor, and we can make it
Now,
exciting and
isn't
fun.
isn't somebody at your age saying I don't use social media saying like I forgot to breathe?
Nowadays, it's everywhere, and you
Really?
need to have it. So
Someone
Well,
our age
hey,
of media, you start to have trust issues. Like,
yeah,
what is something? Is he a serial killer? Why doesn't he have a social media?
yeah, exactly. No, they think you're. That's why honestly, what you just said is the reason I started social media because somebody said to me, "Rick, you're not relevant without social media." I'm like, "What? I'm not relevant? That hurts." So I've only had a Facebook page for about 5.5 years now, 5.5, 6 years now, and then Instagram was after. But yeah, and let me give you a little secret, Curtis. There's a woman right across through the training room that lives in the little dungeon over there. Mary. You make an appointment with her, and she'll sit down and go through it with you. You got to get everybody in your database. Everybody you took out of the box and put in the
yeah.
computer now needs to go into the VAC 2.0.
I'm still old school. I got an Excel spreadsheet of everything. So
Actually, he does. That's
and
funny. Literally, it's right here. I'm
yeah,
looking at it. He literally printed out a list of names and numbers. Yeah, he's really
Wow,
old
one
school.
step below that is my 1 through 31 accordion file. That's before your time.
To be honest with you, Curtis still sends contracts via fax.
I do.
Wow.
Handwritten. No, I don't.
Yeah, he chisels. He has a big hammer and a chisel, and he chisels them on. And then I remember hey, you guys laugh. I remember when the fax machine first came out. It was like, oh my god, this is a blessing from the gods. And if you didn't, it had curly paper. If you didn't take it out of the fax machine and copy it right away, the ink actually disappeared when they first came out. Like you had like an hour. If you left it sitting there for an hour, part of the ink would disappear. You had to copy it right away. So, all
That
right.
wouldn't
So
be
let's get to my favorite part here, guys. So, Curtis, we'll start with you. Give them two or three most important things that you think they need to focus on to be successful in this business.
I think Jeremy touched on it a little bit earlier, treating it like an actual business. And most people, most agents don't treat it like an actual business. They just assume that everyone's going to be calling them nonstop and they're going to get all these deals without doing any prospecting. But there are certain aspects of this business that you got to do every day or every week. Come up with a plan and goals and a business plan. Like really, you got to have a business plan for this. So I would think that's my number one thing. Treat it like a business if you want to be successful. The number two that I tell everybody this is don't take things personal.
Mm.
Me, if someone doesn't use you or someone decides to go elsewhere with their business, it's not a personal attack against you. It's just whatever they were going through at the time and your name didn't come up. Or especially nowadays, everybody knows somebody in this business, whether that's a sister-in-law or a brother or an uncle or something where they're like, you know what, this person just got their license and I'm going to use them instead. And it's not a personal attack. Don't get down on yourself. It does suck when you lose out on a lot of commission, I guess, or just the opportunity to help somebody. Don't take it personal and move on to the next one. And you will fail at this job in aspects. My thought is take that failure, do something different, or learn from it, move on, and do better the next time around. Because we've had a crazy year of things happening that is just like that won't do that again, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's all part of it. And people that have a fear of failure and quit after they fail one time, will not be successful in this business, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's an ego thing too. It's funny you say that because right before this call, I was on a group call with four women, and one of them started crying, and because she was taking personally, you know, that the example she was giving was very similar to what you just said. Somebody didn't use her, but you can't take it personally because then you get like two out of the blue that come to you. So as long as you stick to the basic numbers in this business and follow the plan, you'll do very well. But you're right. You can't take it personally because, I don't believe anybody wakes up in the morning and goes, okay, how can I screw with Curtis and Jeremy today? They actually are doing what they think is right for them. Right. So, all right, cool. Thanks, Curtis. All right. How about you, Jeremy? What do you think? Now you've been doing this for a little while. To be successful, what would you recommend?
First thing, be intentional. Be intentional with, if your intents are to, get a listing, don't stop until you get that listing. Find a way. Don't let that one, like he just said, don't let that one no deter you. I come from sales, so I know it's a numbers game. There's even a book that I bought from my daughter actually called No. It's literally called No. And then the whole book, I'll read it to her before bedtime. It's like 30 pages of no. And then all those no's at the end literally turned into the one yes, turned into one huge yes. Bunch of small no's turned into one huge yes. So I think that's one of my main things there is staying focused and being intentional. If I say I'm going to do it and holding myself accountable, biggest thing, holding yourself accountable for whatever it is you say you're going to do. You put it on the board, make sure you check it off.
Yep. Be intentional, hold yourself accountable, and even join my coaching if you want to. And then the third one is rejection is part of the game. Rejection is not bad. It's necessary. The book Definitely. Of no, that sounds like my real estate career, especially early on. I heard no.
Personal.
Yeah.
I remember telling Curtis literally like my first ever buyer. First ever. Got him qualified. I'm so excited. And we're getting ready to look at some houses, sending us some MLS. Day later, he tells me he's going with a different agent. I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean you're going with a different agent? I was like, hey, no, I got your address. We need to have a talk.
I know where you live. Yeah.
Right. But Curtis was like, you just can't take it personal. And like I understood that, and it hurt the first time. I told him it stung. It left a bad taste in my mouth. But I've seen it happen, and it just happens. You learn, and you move forward with it.
Well, Curtis was speaking at one of my success series about not taking it personally, and on the way home, right, you got a call, or that night you got a call from one of your buddies, and then you had a heavy dose of don't take it personally because one of your friends from high school, whatever, his brother bought from somebody else, which happens. Matter of fact, I think the people you know the best are usually the ones. Well, Kurt, we went to high school. He'll understand. That's what they say. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it doesn't end either. I mean, just you mentioned the very first time. We're still seeing it.
Still
10
happens.
years, 15 years. I mean, however long you're in the business, I think it happens a lot. And that's just one thing. Going on your point is prospecting. Got to have more in the pipeline so you're not so worried about that one client and that one person.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fewer clients you have, the more attached to them you are. The more you have, the less attached. So once they get in and start working with you, okay, you have it affects your attitude. It affects everything about it. And in today's world, if I have a buyer, I have a contract. So I know if I'm working with them and they buy, I mean, I don't get the contract signed. So no matter what happens, I get paid. I get it signed so we're on the same page. We're working together. I'm going to help you find a house and we're going to follow through with it. So if they won't sign that, that's my answer.
I definitely started doing that. I started sending a lot of buyer brokers agreement. Here you go. Before I send you anything else, here's this.
Right. Yeah. The duties owed. What do they call that form in Arizona? Is it called duties owed or the agency form?
What do we have?
That's the buyer broker.
We have a buyer broker agreement here.
No, but don't you have a form?
An agency as well.
Yeah. It describes age. So those are the two I get signed right away: the agency and then right in to the buyer broker. And it's called duties owed in Nevada. It's called something different in every state.
Yeah, agency disclosure and election.
Yes, there you go. Agency disclosure. That's what it should be called. I don't want to call it duties owed here. Sounds like it's bad.
He said duty.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said he said duty.
Oh, that's right. Do you have duty a lot of time when you get home, Curtis?
I was waiting for you to catch it.
I know what you mean now. I get it. All right. Any final thoughts, guys? This has been incredibly good. You're getting comments on here too. Joan Pike says hello.
Yeah, Joan, hi.
Yeah. Hi, Joan. All right. Any other? I got to get her on here, as a matter of fact. Now that I think of it, thanks for reminding me, Joan. Any other thoughts you guys have? Any final thoughts for these wonderful people out here today?
One of my things is try to enjoy work or enjoy life or enjoy. I mean, COVID and everything. It's been a crazy year, and people have gotten very sad and depressed. And do something for yourself. And I love having him on the team because we literally talk every day, and a lot of it's not even real estate. It's just like picking the spirits up, having fun, and
joking about the kids. Yeah.
It's more than just real estate right now. And we try to do that same thing with our clients too. It's more than just buying and selling a house. It's hopefully a lifelong friendship and relationship and all that. So
yeah. You guys, I was there a couple weeks ago. I saw you guys. You guys have fun. Everybody wants to go in the office and talk to you guys.
Clients can see that, and clients want to work with somebody who's excited about their job and love what they're doing, and more than just the X's and O's of negotiating or the contract. They want to be. This is an exciting. We want it to be an exciting experience and fun, and something that they'll remember and refer us out.
I couldn't agree with you more. When that's why I tell agents, when you come across as desperate, they don't want to add desperation into their wonderful, happy, joy, unless they're getting divorced or somebody died. You're right. It's an exciting experience and sometimes a little nerve-wracking. So you got to add a slice of keeping it light. And my goal is to make them laugh right away. Whether they come to an open house, I'm working with them. It's to show them I'm really serious about the job, but you got to have a little fun doing it too. Absolutely. I agree 100%. All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you very much for taking your time out today. Really appreciate it. I know you'll achieve your goal next year because you guys are intentional, using Jeremy's word. I love it. Intentional about it. Okay, set the GPS, get it done. Thanks very much for your time, guys. Appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Woo!
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.